Hola chicos y bienvenidos a un nuevo directo. Y bueno, hoy empezamos directo prontito. Am, los que vivan por Latam, pues igual creo que ahora estarán durmiendo, no lo sé. Lo digo porque muchos seguidores de mi canal son de Latam, que me parece perfecto, pero igual ahora están durmiendo. Pero bueno. Em, Aquí estamos de nuevo en el Stanley de Stanley Parable. Y bueno, lo dejamos en la última vez. Estamos aquí. Voy a bajar el sonido porque luego no se me escucha casi
This is the
nada.
story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Vale. Y bueno, lo dejamos la última vez aquí, justo aquí enfrente. Y bueno, siguiendo por aquí hay un cuadro que, bueno, y un ascensor. Y le pulsamos al ascensor. Bien. Hola, ¿qué tal, bro? Hola. ¿Qué tal? Yo bien. Aquí jugando al Stanley Parable. Bienvenido al directo. ¿Pero qué? Sigue todo igual. Antes, bueno, ahora es un montón de trofeos. Por cierto, porque la música no se escucha tanto. Bueno, he hecho un montón de trofeos y había un trofeo que luego os lo enseño porque se puede repetir. Vale, quiero dar y el ascensor este no sirve de nada. Me han estafado. ¡No! Solo se agita y ya está, no se mueve. Tío, una estafa. Entonces, ¿de qué sirve entrar aquí? Tiene que servir de algo. No, no quiero continuar.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway.
Vale. A ver, ahora bajamos por aquí. Igual, no sé, igual tendría que haber iniciado directo un poco más tarde. Es que no se guarda el progreso y lo he tenido que repetir
Stanley
todo para
walked straight
llegar.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Vale, la última vez fuimos por Mind Control Facility, pues vamos a ir ahora por aquí que pone Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Con una muerte. A ver si es verdad lo que es.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Bueno, veamos si esto lleva a la muerte. Vaya, igual sí.
As the machine
¿qué es
whirred
eso?
into
¿Qué es
motion
eso?
and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
No.
demise, he reflected that his life had been of no
Ayuda.
consequence
Pues sí que es la
whatsoever.
muerte.
Stanley
No.
can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
¿Me salvo?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Pero no. ¡Ja! Me he salvado. ¡Ja! Al final me he salvado. De Stanley para...
And yet it would be just a few minutes before
¡Hala,
Stanley would
venga!
restart the game,
Hola,
back
nano.
in his office, as
Un
alive as
repastillo de
ever.
los-
What
de
exactly
los
did the
países.
narrator think he was going to accomplish?
No importa, me he salvado de la máquina.
When every path you can walk
esto?
has been created for
El
you
cielo.
long in
¿Qué es
advance,
esto?
death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you
Computadora
see
de
now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Esto es... Pero ¿por qué me invitas si estoy jugando a esto? Y encima al Fortnite. Bueno, luego me uno cuando acabe esto. La oficina. Sonidos de botones. A ver, ¿qué hay por aquí? La oficina del jefe. Esto yo no lo he visto. Reloj de la oficina. Bueno, ¿esto qué es? ¿Un museo? ¿Yo para qué quiero estar aquí? Tomas de narración.
Then he pushed the number 4. Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake.
Supongo.
It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. I don't know. How about... But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to...
Pues mucha suerte. Que que digo que mucha suerte, que bien, ¿no? No. Bueno, sí, pero que yo no quiero estar aquí, por favor, quiero volver a...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
No.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
Y si salgo al menú, no, porque se
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Eso me da mucha... No sé. Bueno, pues hemos muerto. Qué bien, ¿no? Nunca viene mal. Y otra vez aquí.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437. Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Luego entramos por aquí.
Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Venga, ahora otra vez aquí.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
No, pero la puerta 16 ahora no existe, es esta. No, ahora no existe. Es esta, la 16 es esta, pero ahora pone new content. No puedo hacerlo. Bueno, pues le pulsabas aquí, luego le dabas otra vez a la impresora y ya está. Y le dabas 5 clics otra vez y ya está, te da el trofeo. Vale, pues vamos por aquí. Ah, pues no, está aquí.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again! Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
Y...
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Venga, ahora sí. New content. Vamos allá.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Venga, vamos al nuevo contenido.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, hey, let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump.
Puedo saltar, pero solo puedo saltar aquí, en este círculo.
Is that it? Surely.
Se me acabaron los saltos. Otro ascensor.
Initial impressions of this new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter that. And if... Oh, wait. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? No reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the Lev Games trophies. And it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended. And I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never... And we'll try to get back to what the Stan... No frills. No gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Ahora que el nene nos va a llevar. ¿Pero qué? ¿Qué es esto? Pero sí, esto no es... Y otra vez puedo atravesar la silla. Entonces esto sí es nuevo contenido, ¿no?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the something!
Bueno, venga, vamos. Hola, hola Irene del directo. aquí jugando de Stanley Parable. Bueno, pues ya me lo he pasado
Okay,
una
you remember
vez,
how cheap and
otra vez,
unsatisfying the
y
new Ultra
hecho mucho
Deluxe
feo.
content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley
Estamos
Parable
aquí,
used to
que no
be.
sé qué.
So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a
¡Hala!
look.
Venga. Aquí no puedo atravesar las sillas. Venga. A ver, por aquí no hay nada.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
No, para PC no. Para Play ¿qué? Aquí no hay nada.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Este era el antiguo menú, sí. Ahora, ¿cuántos diplomas? Pero...
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Vale. Que el juego va de un narrador que narra todo lo que haces. O sea, es que todo. Incluso hay veces que si tocas mucho algo o le das mucho para interactuar, dice que no hay nada ahí, que qué haces o qué pasa, pero no sé qué, y está bastante guapo. Y pues ahora todavía no había llegado hasta aquí. The Original Remake. Venga, vamos al original. Porque está la bandera de Francia, bueno, casi.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating comment choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game knew content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine... Couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Pero qué...
What's this? What's down here? Oh no, reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Un momento, creo que puedo llegar aquí. No sé qué. Nada. Una positiva.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachy am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
No, pobre narrador.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Vamos, un botón de omitir. Espera, si el narrador puso los comentarios malos y buenos, eso significa que son de la gente, ¿no? Entonces se ha ido haciendo ese final con él. Sí. Sí, es verdad. Gracias a las reseñas se ha creado este final. ¿Pero qué? Vamos, un botón de omitir. Un botón de omitir.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. If not... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 horas.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, You're back.
Hostia.
You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
La planta se ha muerto.
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've always... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only...
Narrador. Vale. El detector este se ha caducado. Creo que hay que darle todo el rato en vez de escuchar. Se ha muerto.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the The end is never the end, 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 is...
Ya. Hostia. Cuántas goteras, ¿no? Oye, esto antes no... antes estaba. Esto antes no estaba. Ya han salido incluso goteras. ¡Hala! ¡Venga! ¡Venga! ¡Almay! ¡No, la planta! ¡Hostia! ¡No! ¡Planta! ¡Hostia! Viento del Sáhara, sí, sí. ¡Hala! Foto. ¡Hala, qué guapo! Bueno. Hostia. Pensaba que era un tipo aplastado. Que lo han tapado. Oye, ¿y el sonido? Escuchar el sonido de afuera. Ah, no, pensaba que se había escuchado. Ya no hay nada. ¿De qué? ¿Qué es eso que se escucha? Ya parece un juego de terror ahora. ¡Eh! ¡Ostras! ¡Hala! Sáhara, venga. Ya no lo puedo esquipear. ¡Hala! Venga, Sáhara. Ya ni hay narrador ni hay nada. Me acabo de dar cuenta que todo el tiempo el estaba ya. hecho una foto a la pantalla en negro. The never is, the end is never, the end is never, the end is never. ¿Y ahora qué va a pasar? ¿Qué? ¿Pero qué? ¿Otra vez aquí?
All of his
Narrador.
co-workers were gone.
¿Pero
What could it mean?
qué ha pasado?
Stanley
Eso era un
decided to
final,
go to the
entonces.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. ¿Y si los enchufo?
Oh, good. You notice my
Ahí viene
sign.
Missing
Yes,
Content.
I have something very exciting to show you.
Tiene algo que enseñarnos. Vamos. Por favor, que el ascensor no tape.
You see, Stanley, I've been
Todo se
reflecting
va a
on the
matarnos.
Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Stanley Parable 2. The end is never
Yes,
the
you
end
see,
again.
isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover
Yeah.
with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Investor Showcase. 2 Deux, 2. Ah, vale, 2 en un montón de idiomas.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
There Black 2 Doors. New content is out, new content parte 2 is in, old boosted, new hotness. Vale, ya estoy. A ver. Win. La planta que nos hizo revisar.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Yo no entiendo nada, no he estado durante que jugabas. No, o sea, el día se repite todo el rato, o sea, todo el rato es lo mismo. Pero depende de las cosas que hagas, cambian algunas cosas. Por ejemplo, ahora que lo del omitir, pues ahora eso venía dentro del new content y ahora ha mejorado el new content. This way to the show floor. Y de todos modos se puede empezar de cero y si sales y vuelves a entrar se empieza desde cero. Jope, tío. Con la notificación. This way to the show floor. New features. Un autobús. ¿Qué hace? de nada. Foto. Estoy haciendo fotos.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Merchandising, que tiene código QR. Creo que sí podrá escanear. Luego lo pruebo. A whole new office. Red is the new orange. The upgrade race tracer. Eso. New features, new content, new ideas. El botón que dice el nombre de la persona que está jugando. Un botón que dirá tu nombre. Bueno, el nombre de la persona que está jugando.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Venga, a ver.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Vale, soy Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Jim.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Oh, hola, soy Jim, a ver.
Jim.
Oh, soy yo.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim.
Jim.
I'm putting the Jim button away.
Jim.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose
Jim,
all
Jim,
sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
Jim, no, ya no soy Jim. Ahora soy cable. Y esto no se puede pulsar.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Espera. Quiero entrar ahí. Restaurants Bucket. ¿Esto qué va a ser? No screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a like balloons, but I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
No sé.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Sobrinastra. ¡Eh! Que ahora está todo...
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Free New Easy Trophy. Un trofeo fácil de conseguir. Free trofeo gratis.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes, You see, you'll come to this lever.
Lo veo.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Pues está bien eso. A ver cuando sacan el Stanley para abrirlo.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Esto, Infinite Hole. Esto.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
El techo no estaba antes, ¿no? Oye, el techo no estaba antes, ¿no? A ver. Ah, pues sí. Un momento, antes de tirarme por el hoyo, hay unas escaleras que van hacia arriba. Ah, pero no se puede. Alejo.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Seguro que hay un final.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Verás que seguro que hay final.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Ajá, llegué al final.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
A ver, solo quiero ver si dice algo más y ya está. Nah.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Solo que tengo que irme a comer, así que bueno, voy a dejar el directo por aquí, porque me tengo que ir a comer. Así que bueno, ya hemos visto varias cosas, ha estado bastante bien. Y bueno, hasta aquí el directo de hoy. Espero que os haya gustado mucho y que lo hayáis pasado muy bien con el narrador y eso. Y bueno, hasta aquí el directo de hoy. Espero que os haya gustado mucho y nos vemos en próximos vídeos o directos. Adiós.